Thanks for joining me in part 2 where we fit the painted Aero kit to the Saab 9.3. How on earth am I going to tackle this one? We have the finished panels, the 2 side skirts, the crowning glory, the boot spoiler, and of course the rear bumper. All painted, lacquered. Oh, the Saab 9.3 2-litre turbo. Not everybody's cup of tea. Bit like Marmite, you either love them or you hate them. But nevertheless, they deserve their place as an iconic vehicle of its time. And not forgetting the interior, which was kind of aircraft inspired. I had one of these about 10 years ago. I had the Aero and I loved it. It's a beautiful car and certainly deserves its place in the Hall of Fame. Unique in its own right. So this job's not going to be without its tricky bits. We're going to be removing old clips from the underseals. Same on the rear. It's this lower section here that we're replacing. The main difference between the old one and the new one is there is a cutout in the replacement Aero one for the exhaust pipes to come through. Same on the other side. A number of clips underneath to release. Nothing going on the front. Probably have to take the wheels off. And then as far as the boot's concerned, we're sticking with this lid. So I'm going to need to drill some holes in the boot to mount that spoiler. I need to ramp the car up, but the positioning of the ramps is right where I want to be to remove the existing clips. So we'll also need, if I'd unlocked the car would have been nice, wouldn't it? To remove this seal here. Underneath it should be some torque screws. Ah, right, there you go. Yeah, they're bolted on with Torx. Let's have a go at trying to ramp it up. So I've moved in with the quick jacks and slipped them under. So I'm able to jack up on the chassis rail. Got quite a nice large area there as well. It's exactly the same on the other side. Let's see if that works. Lock down, so the load is now off the ram. It's giving me good clearance. I can clearly get access to the seals. A few clips missing here already. I'm not looking forward to getting those out of there. First thing I'm going to do is remove these clips. I'm using a small rounded end Allen key. It doesn't really matter as long as it's small enough to go through the hole. And then I'm just going to get on the center of the pin. That pops out and then pry underneath it. And then using a pry tool, gently squeeze it out. removed, you've got an 8mm bolt here. The old shock method. Now I've got to try and get that stuck on there, that's it. That's that one out. There's a third 8mm. Oh, there you go. Got it. Ooh, that was close. This rear one, it's going though. Those little short jerky motions can just help to free it up. And there you have it, it's out. We'll grease those clips up on the new ones. Underneath the rubber seal, you'll see your torque screws. Now this rubber sits between the side skirt and the doorstep. You can't really pull it out until you've removed the torques. The torque's 25. There's 5 of them. That's it. Your torque's 25. Another 4 to go. Let's try and remove the seal. That doesn't help you out a lot, does it? Let's have a look. There are little plastic loops here. You've got to wonder. I don't want to pull it. I've cracked it, it just pulls off this direction. I'm just going to have a little clean up around there and then we'll fit the new one back. The inner seals on this car are remarkable. There is no sign of any corrosion whatsoever under there. And the replacement seal, just going to knock that in gently on one end at the moment. So I need to get this part located. Just realised that this should be behind the inner arch. No harm done. I've just removed that end section again because I just wasn't convinced of the alignment. It sits flush with the wheel arch. That's it. That's it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on the end of this fitting so that if we ever needed to get it out again, I'm not doing anything up tight yet till we get the rest of it lined up. So this bit of rubber here needs to sit behind that lip of the seal. A nice dollop of grease, those screws. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on the sill just to line it up with the inner wing. Just need to pop the clips back and that side's finished. One of the clips had broken. Let's try getting the right clip. Oh, that's not bad. As for the others, pop them back in, put the post back in, and then just tap it back, all righty-tighty. Last one. Lovely job. Now the rear bumper is held on by two 8mm, one on just behind the rear wheel, one just behind the other rear wheel, and you've got a couple of little, they're Allen bolts actually, looking at that. One there and one there to remove. The Allen bolt underneath ×2 is a 5.5mm. That's that one out. That's that one out. You should just be able to pop this off. Right, I've just got to put those two fixings in underneath. So if you look in the boot, round near the spare wheel, you'll see they've got like a little threaded plate put on there. Whether that's original or not, I don't know, but they had come off and they were spinning around. You'll need to get hold of those to tighten it up. And one underneath there, and one underneath there, and that's the rear spoiler done. Just going to remove the clips from underneath, the bolts on each end, the Torx underneath the rubber seal, and fit this side. It is done. So now onto the tricky bit. I need to make a template to fit the rear spoiler, and we'll be drilling through here. I'm going to use the old boot lid to make my template because that's already been drilled, but I do have to remove a couple of offending studs that wouldn't come out.
Don't try this at home, kids. I almost took my finger off, and a metal cutting disc really isn't the best on wood, but it did do the job.
I've roughly cut a thin piece of ply to a very rough shape of the donor boot lid. I'm not actually using this one, so I'm not really that worried. And then I've clamped it, I've put a couple of markings on it so that I know that mark there lines up with the very curve of the boot lid. And this one does exactly the same. And I've clamped it down. I'm now going to turn it over and drill through the holes. I've only drilled 3 holes because the studs are damaged in the spoiler on each end. I'm just checking it hasn't moved. But now I have my 3 holes in my template. Oh, damn it. What I haven't allowed for in my plan is the fact that the antenna is on the boot. So I can't do that. So I'm going to have to cut this out here. I've checked my measurements, both ends. It's now or never. Two, 3. That's enough for me. And there I have my 3 pilot holes. Well, they're not holes yet, but they're just pilots. Let's put those through. Now I know they're not quite big enough, but they might be big enough for me to sit the studs in. That's scarily good, that is. It's a winner. Yeah, lovely. Anyone would think I've done that before. Just going to widen those holes a little bit because they are a bit narrow. Be careful not to slip on the paintwork. What a mess that would make, eh? So just to protect those holes, I'm going to put a little bit of primer around that raw steel, just to stop it rusting in the future. It's always good to not leave any metal exposed like that. So just to make sure, I put a little bit of Sikaflex underneath, around the seal and around those stud mounts so that water can't get in the boot, just to give it a bit of extra added bondation. There's a new word for you. So we're all finished with the Saab 9.3. Gorgeous day. Hard work that, gotta be honest. But it does look nice and I'm really, really pleased. So I think the reveal justifies a different location. One thing too much in this picture. Absolutely gorgeous. Job done. Saab 9.3. I think this colour's going to make a comeback. Thanks for joining me on this one. Time to wrap it up. Saab 9.3 Aero kit done.